Okay, so the Hokai Sonic TV is finally completed. It works and everything. It's clean and it's got a couple 3D printed bits. So the story behind this one, I got it off a trade. I traded a wind-up bank that I used to have, like a money bank, a coin bank, pretty much, and I pretty much got this in exchange, which in my opinion was a very good trade because I really, Sonic TVs, they tend to be somewhat, you tend to see them every so often. Not really that often, but you tend to see them. I mean, I saw them at least 10, 15 times already, including there's a friend of mine that lives, he lives near my house, that also collects robots, and he also has a TV Sonic, which is the regular pearl-coated black. This, on the other side, is an uncommon one. It's the red one. There's 5 colors that I know about. There's the original 3, which are pearl-coated black, regular black, and red. And then you have the second generations, or the second wave, pretty much, which is chromed, like the whole thing is chrome silver with either blue or green details. There's a few chrome parts that are blue or green. Thought they would have made a red one, but nah. Anyways, so there is of course generations as well, and that's something that I kind of wanted to talk about because the 3 that I have, even though 2 look the same, one, because I have 2 of the black ones, of the pearl-coated blacks. One has the, one's pretty much the one that Kevin gave me, the other one's one that I got back in 2020 that was dead from the chip. So what's the difference between those, or what exactly is it that differentiates them? Well, here's the thing. Some of these were made before, and some of these were made after Hokai made their radio-controlled version. The radio-controlled versions have an antenna sticking out from the back. Comes about, I believe, here. There's a hole here. Well, that's pretty much the thing. In the mold, in the back plate, the one that Kevin gave me, which must be a slightly later one, actually has a hole. The one that I got here did not have the hole. And there's another difference that makes this one an even earlier one. This one does not have the screw hole. So the other 2 that I have, they have a little hole here, and they have a little tube under the battery cover, which is for sticking a screw or something so you can close the battery cover safely. This one does not have anything of that. Here's a quality control, 35. So like I said, this must be a very first generation one. Aside from that, there's also the very later ones, the much later ones. Aside from already having the hole, they also have a rectangular fit, like a rectangular fit where you snap the ears on. This, like the other ones, they all have these 2 holes. But yeah, that's about it. So they all work the same way, and they have a pretty interesting thing that makes me believe that if someone ever finds the ones that have the button, which are, I believe, smaller, they have lights and sound, and they're not motorized, they're, I think, friction powered or something, I believe they will have the same sounds, and I'll explain why. These, in the sound chip, they have a continuous play circuit, pretty much. So there's a wire that connects straight to the positive, and there's a wire that connects straight to the negative, so the board is always getting power, even now that it's turned off. Thing is, when you turn it on, there's a blue wire that hits, that touches with the positive, with the main positive. And that pretty much puts it in play mode. Now, this is a function that's used in many toys to have a try me function. Robot Commander, Robot Leader. So there's always, there's always some that have that, even if they don't have any kind of try me function. For example, the Robot Commander 3 that I have, the first generation one that has the tiny LEDs in the chest, that one actually has the same exact thing. So you put the batteries in, and if you take the batteries out and you put them back in, but you left the switch turned on, it's not going to play sound. It's going to basically just move until you turn it off and you turn it on again. That's pretty much what happens with this one. So there's that of the circuitry. So the pieces that I 3D printed were these two. The robot was kind of dirty. It was corroded, and the previous owner, pretty much the collector that bought it, had tried cleaning the contacts on the robot, like without taking them off, with vinegar. And of course, this thing had an awful smell in the battery compartment because of that. But, you know, he tried to clean it up. I don't know why, because the robot already turned on. It already powered on. It just did not want to move. Why did it not want to move? The little pegs that hold the motor, they were actually broken off. So the motor, and it's funny because it would occasionally start moving. The thing is, the motor, it's like this pretty much. It's in an angle. It would move away. When it moves away, the worm gear doesn't touch the rest of the gear, so it pretty much you just hear the motor running, but no movement or anything. When you would hit it from this side, it would actually go back and engage, and that's when the thing would actually move back and forth and front and back like it's supposed to. So I fixed that up. I didn't even bother remaking the pegs. I just grabbed like a random piece of 3D printed plastic, and I burned it a little so it would be, you know, melted, and I just put it there, then glued it, and yeah, that's pretty much how this thing's functional again. Like I said, I cleaned everything up. I was meant to do a video assembling this thing from zero because the robot was completely taken apart. Of course, the arms were taken apart, even though these bits are glued for some reason, so I couldn't take that. I even took the screen off. The eyes, everything on it was taken apart, even the gearbox. And what I was meant to do was, I was meant to fix the issues that it had, the separate issues like this, like the pegs here that basically keep it from falling. I was meant to fix all of that and then make a video or a live stream or something. Because it was the time when I got like a bunch of I got a brainstorm, and I was like, should I do a live stream doing this? Should I make a long video doing this? I don't fucking know. And then I realized, wait, you know what? I might as well just do it. You know, first of all, I wanted to do it, and then I realized, wait, I'm already assembling, because I was thinking about that, and I was putting the arms together and everything there. I was like, oh, crap. So I was like, I'm too late. I just got ahead of myself. And then on the other part, I did have a few issues with it, so I'm glad I didn't do anything. Because the bump and go started malfunctioning, and then I realized that the robot was leaning forward. Because for some reason, when I took off this little piece that works as a blinker, which I'll shortly show, it actually, I think it pulled the entire shaft up, so the robot was leaning like this. It was pretty bad. And then I tried doing many things. I tried moving the wheels a little, moving the gear a little. No gears were split. I mean, the worm gear has a crack, but it's just not... It's not enough to break the whole gear, plus it still works, so, you know, it's not loose or anything. So pretty much here's a little bit about the thing, the insides. It was dirty, filthy. Here's the gears pretty much, and here's the front peg, which the back ones were broken, but this is pretty much what I'm saying. It would move to this side and no more contact or anything, so it would not move. So, that's pretty much the, yeah, what the hell? Oh, wait a minute. That was actually the last picture. The rest of the pictures are in my phone. What a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Let's see if I can actually connect to my phone through, oh, that's actually pretty cool, so I can. That's nice. So yeah, these are pretty much the pegs, like I said, the robot, blah, 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 pretty much the pieces that, like I said, I just melted them in place and super glued them. This is the front one, these are the back ones. And this is pretty much the picture that I put on the YouTube post, because I was like, what the hell? And of course, some Hawkeye, Sonic pictures, whatever, crap like that. But that's pretty much the entire situation with the robot. So I did that, and the robot works like a charm. So oh, that's right, forgot to mention something. So if you guys remember, and you guys did actually pay attention within the generational things that I said, The later ones that have the different fit, they also have the switch screwed from the inside and not like this, you know, with like screws pointing inwards. These screws actually point outwards because they are put from the inside. That's about it. So let's turn it on and see what goes on. Like I said, everything works like a charm now. It's lubricated. It's pretty, like, the sound is pretty fast. It's like faster than any other I've ever heard, so. And it's crazy and wacky as it's supposed to be. Now, I have to say something, and I have to do a little discharge on this, and I'm not sure if I'm right or not. Because from one side, the proof, the actual visual proof, does give me the right, you know, it like, does give me the, should I say the right, like, does, I believe I'm right with this, but some people have told me that these are actually old. So this specific one, I have this one and I have the Hokai Mighty Robot. The Hokai Mighty Robot, or Mighty Sonic, because some people call it Mighty Sonic. I personally call it Mighty Robot. That one, they say it was made in the 1980s. Now, I do beg to differ a lot from that specific thing. Let me show you exactly the robot I'm talking about. I'm talking about this one, which I have two green ones, and one that's chromed with green parts. And I'll explain why. Why is this, or why do I believe that this is not from the late 80s, even though there's been a guy that literally got it at the time. He's actually a friend of mine. He told me that he got it in 1988, I believe, or 1989, which, like I said, I'm not doubting what he's telling me, but the proof says otherwise, and, you know, again, I was not born at that time. I was born, like, 10 years after that. I was born in 1990, so here's pretty much what I'm going to say about these. So, I'm going to put a Hokai Mighty Robot picture on screen real quick. I got to connect to my phone again, even though I'm recording this shit, but there we go. So, this is the Hokai that I actually have. Ignore the 3D printed antenna. Let's pay attention to the other antenna, which I just realized the picture is actually pretty shitty, so, like, I don't know, I just can't zoom it, and it pisses me off. And I have to make sure, because, the Hokai, I don't know why, the Mighty Sonic folder, it's kind of a spicy folder. I'm not going to say why. Some people already know why, but okay, there we go. Here's one of the versions that was made. So, the reason why I believe this is either from the 90s or something's up is because you can see that it's a blatant copy of the Top Gun Cops, Top Robots, Top Gun Cops, those very first Happy Kid robots that came with a pinion gear that was plastic, and even a lot of parts you can literally see and you know, conclude that, yeah, it's basically a knockoff from this one. The arms are completely the same, except for a couple of details, but they are actual solid pieces. On this one, of course, it's a little more detailed, and the pieces are separate and all. It has the same exact caps, but here it actually has screws instead of having a light bulb. The body structure is pretty much the same. Again, all of these spawned from the Galaxy Super Mechanic Fighters from Horikawa from back in the 80s. Then it was made in the 90s in Taiwan, China, whatever, but that was pretty much the initial spark for these. Now, the other reason why I'm saying that, and of course, you can see that the gun is actually from another robot. That one is from the 80s, but no, you know. Aside from the shape and everything, that's almost the exact same shape, I will show something that has to do with this one, has to do with this one, and at the same time, it has to do with the theory that I have that these are actually from the 90s. So, like I've said, I will show right now the robot that I want to show, which has nothing to do with these two. Bump and Go Robot, or Mystery Action Robot. The earliest one I could find was 1991. Nothing before that. 1991, watch the shape. Watch the big gap for the battery compartment. Watch the switch at the bottom. Watch the shape of the toy itself. You cannot deny that this is where this one came from. And that this is pretty much where they copied it from. And again, look at the mouth it has, which I don't think you can actually see. Look at the mouth. Now you look at this. Look at the gun. Now look at this. This is why I strongly believe that these are actually from 1992 or 1993 when these started coming out. Because, you know, 1991, 1992, it's just, you know, you just can see the proof. And it's not, I doubt it, and I extremely doubt it, that New Bride and Happy Kid would have actually copied Hawkeye. Because Hawkeye seems like an extremely generic company. The stuff they done, it's all generic, it's all copies, you know? New Bride came up with that weird robot design that was so appealing for many companies, so visually appealing. And Happy Kid came up with the design of the busty, walking, spinning robot with lifting arms with electronic lights and sound. There was nothing like that before that. There were just mechanical galaxy robots, to say the least. That's it. So that's why I believe that these are from the 1990s, and, you know, there must be a reason why people say they are from the 80s, and they're probably right, they're probably wrong, who the hell knows. That's just my proof why I believe that these are from the 90s, but that's about it. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and sticking to the end of the video. More videos coming soon.